Hi everyone, my name's Anya. I'm a communications officer with Léargas.
And I'm Brian, and I work in communications.
I love content creation, digital marketing, and discovering new ways for all of us to share information with each other.
I love video, I love photography, I love web, graphic design, so it's really exciting to be able to share some of these things with you today.
So a couple of things I'm going to talk to you about today with regards to your video are the video brief, your audience, and messaging.
I'm going to run through some video tips for you that will help you to make very simple videos, but effective videos to share your message about your Erasmus Plus project. I'm using just a regular camera today, and I'm using my phone to record the audio. So the objective of today is to show you that you can make very simple videos just talking to the camera.
The video brief is a very useful guide to map out your requirements when making video. The video brief basically explains the ins and outs of your video project. The video brief is really helpful for you as you shape the overall goals of your project. It takes a little bit of time to develop the brief at the start, but it's well worth it to help you ensure you achieve what you want, and it's a really good starting point. The video brief will make the whole process smoother, more efficient, and it's more likely to save you a good bit of time in the long run. So, where do you start when you're creating a video brief? When it comes to the format, it can be a variety of formats. I like to keep it simple. I write everything down in a Word document with the headings, and I've included a Word doc template for you to download with this presentation. When you're making a video brief, details are important. But keep in mind that you don't want so much going into your brief that the details have become overwhelming. Make your video brief informative, but easy to follow and easy to understand. So a really good thing to include within the video brief is a summary of your project. It's good to write down, what is the project? Why do you need a video? Why is this video important? And what do you hope it will achieve? It's good also to describe what the project is, what it will entail, the different elements, and like I said, why you're doing it. It's also useful to include who is going to be involved in the video, whether they're in front of the camera or behind it. This will help you kind of get a list of the amount of work involved in communicating what needs to be done when you're making it. A really useful thing to include in your video brief is your video objectives. What are you hoping to achieve with this video? What are your goals for the video? And how are you going to measure the success of the video? So you might look at, what are you hoping to achieve? Do you want certain people to see the video that you hope are interested in viewing it? What are your goals? Who are you trying to connect with? And also, how do you measure success? Do you want a certain number of people to view the video on your social media channels or in your school or as part of your community group? What does success look like to you with regards to your video? It's different for everyone, but it's really important to think about what will make this video a success to you. So now I'm going to talk about your audience. Your audience is really, really important when you're making a video. You need to think about your target audience. Who is your target audience? This will help determine the style of the video. So when thinking about them, you need to think about what age are they? Where are they? Will they be watching this video online? Will they be watching it on their phones? Will they be watching it in offices, on desktop computers? Once you have identified your audience, it's important to discuss the type of video content that will speak to them. Think about your tone and your style. Will it be fun? Will it be friendly? Will it be fast-paced and energetic? If it's for young people, I would definitely say yes. Essentially, you want your audience to be able to identify with your video and feel a real connection to it. This is why you have to think about them when you're making it. Think about your message. What is your message? Every video needs a key message. So it's important to start thinking about what you want your video to say. It's really nice to have a lovely fancy, great looking video, but at the end of the day, you want it to say something and speak to your audience about something that's important to you and that you want to share. So a good place to start when thinking about your key messages is brainstorming a list of things that you want people to take away from watching your video.
A great way to help you to get clear on your message is to create a storyboard. Now, anytime I have to shoot a video, I like to plan things out. You may not be the same, but when it comes to the editing room or when you come back, it's great to have more footage than less. So a storyboard helps you focus your content. I've provided some templates on the landing page that you can visit. Feel free to download them. Scribble in pictures, they don't have to be perfect, but just maybe map out if you're going to have a headshot, if you're going to have some B-roll, which is just footage of your project. I'd recommend when you're having kind of fun activities during your project, get your mobile phone out or your video camera and just shoot kind of active shots. They're invaluable when you come to make a video afterwards. And I would recommend to shoot them landscape, unless your video is solely going to be on TikTok or Instagram. I still would recommend landscape. It gives you a lot more options in terms of video for your YouTube channel, for your website, and they will scale perfectly on those other platforms as well. So shoot landscape, get lots of active shots, and a storyboard is a great way to help you kind of tell your story, map it out, and know the shots you need to take while your activity is taking place. If you can just get the camera in one position, nice and straight, for your headshots, that'll look way better. In post, sometimes you can zoom in a bit to kind of ease the eye, maybe every 10 seconds or something. But this one shot like this is going to be a lot less distracting for people, and they're going to listen to what you have to say. And then when your project's happening and you're out and about, you can get creative. Even, you know, too much zooming in and out can be very distracting. So keep it simple. Take a shot, all right? And you can stay, like, the reason it's a video camera is that it captures movement. So you can stay stationary and you can let all the stuff happen around you. And that's far better than you running around. When it comes to editing, there's a lot of products out there. To edit this one, I've used Adobe Rush, but there's Adobe Premiere, there's Camtasia. If you have a Mac, you've probably got iMovie. There are other ones online. I think there's one called Movely. Pretty much it doesn't really matter which one you use. They all work on the same philosophy, that you have a timeline, you cut your video, and whatever is on the top of the layers is what people will see. So you can overlay images, maybe some photos of your project as you talk, to cut out the monotony of maybe just looking at one headshot. Always good to use a little bit of music if you can, but if you do use music, make sure that you've copyright for it. You can use the YouTube catalog. They have kind of copyright songs in there. If you don't have music, maybe somebody in your project is a budding musician and you could use some of their content. There are other options. There's a website called Audio with 2 I's. I've used that before, it's quite good. And there's also one called Upbeat, 2 P's. I think they're all running out of domains, so they have to add extra letters, but there are 2 options that you might use if you need some music. The YouTube playlist would be perfect too. Just be careful that you do have copyright permission for because you don't want your video to be taken down off YouTube or whatever channel you're using. Now, a lot of people get kind of obsessed about the video when they're recording the video, but one of the most important things is audio. So I don't know if that makes a difference, if you can hear the difference there. This is a little lapel mic from SmartLav that plugs into my phone, right? And on my phone, I've got an app called HiQ MP3 player. I've recorded whole audio for videos with this app, right? And I've given it to the person who's speaking. I have the audio on for the camera, right? This is a great little road mic that you might use, and put it on the top of your camera if you've got a DSLR. That'll give you pretty good audio. But particularly if you have people who are talking to camera, it's always good to have a separate audio track. And just sync them. When making this video, I've used a couple of products that make little intros and transitions just to jazz up your video a bit. They're very, very easy to use. It's a quick trick that might be useful. And ones that, off the top of my head, ones that you might look into are Offio or Videos. There's plenty out there. But these little things can help in terms of the production of your video if you want to do that. But very much today our discussion is around keeping it simple.
When you're thinking about your key messages, it's important to consider 3 things. Number 1, what do you want your audience to hear? Number 2, what do you want them to remember from your video? And how do you want them to act after your video? So what is actionable from your video? This could be something as simple as going to your website to get more information about your organization and your projects. So just to summarize quickly on audiences and messaging. A good guideline for me is think, feel, and do. What do you want your audience to think about your video? How do you want your audience to feel about your video, and what you want them to do? So with regards to thinking, you want them to think there was a good video, there was some interesting content, and they felt they got something informative from it. With regards to feeling, you hope they feel inspired. And what do you want them to do? Motivated to find out more, to investigate more, and to feel like they can identify with the content.
I'm not a Scorsese, or I'm not an expert in video. I enjoy it, and I think it's a great way to communicate with your audience. It is the content of this decade. It's everywhere, it's growing. If you can get your young people or your students into making video, being comfortable editing it, there's huge possibilities for them. So connect with your audience in a meaningful way. Give it a go, enjoy it, and we're here to help you all along the way. So feel free to give me a shout if you have any questions.
So thanks everyone for watching. I hope it was helpful. I hope our video comms tools were useful to you and you get something from it.